Hello everyone, welcome back to another video from your favorite YouTuber, Dunkus III. Today we are going to be doing my first movie review. Now, the movie I have lined up for this video today is the masterpiece, the absolute godsend, the piece of art that is known as Ratatoing. Now, this movie is legitimately critically, emotionally, even physically, just holding it in my hands is one of the best experiences I've ever had in my entire life. Forget anything. Forget being born, starting my first day of school, meeting new friends. Those pale in comparison to the absolute beauty of this movie. Every second of this movie is just a just piece of art. There is no second of this movie where I do not want to zap myself into the TV because I actively want to live in the movie. Every single bit of this is insanely good. Now, let me start off reading a plot, the thing on the back. Rio de Janeiro, the wonderful city, land of Ipanema, I don't know, sugar leaf, sugar loaf, and Ratatoing, a city where the most gifted chef in town is a rat. Everyone wants to discover the secrets of Marcel Toing's delicious recipes, but they are far from imagining the efforts this extraordinary cook puts into his search for the best ingredients. Every Thursday night, Marcel goes on a mission with his charming assistant Carol and his friend Greg, the worst waiter in town. The three rats search for fine and rare ingredients that can only be found in restaurants owned by humans, where they face real danger from rat traps to cat attacks. The story gets filled with more action and adventure when a bunch of jealous rats decide to get together and put an end to Ratatoing's culinary success. Did you not read that? It is a story of woe, a story of comedy. You mix in this great... It's like a spy detective almost movie. I don't know how to describe it. They kind of go in secretly to try to get these foods. It's like a stealth mission. That's the best way to describe it. And they're actually being hunted down and tracked to try to be stopped by these enemy rats. Now that in a plot already makes a movie good. I mean, you got your plot right there. You got your exposition. You got it's in Rio de Janeiro. They're a restaurant. They're being built up. And what's the big point of the story? Well, they're trying to be attacked. Boom! It's easy to understand. Great to just relax, set your mind up, turn your mind off a bit, and just watch a movie and have fun, right? Now, as you can see probably from the picture, this movie, the animation in this movie, pales in comparison to anything Pixar has ever made. Do you not see that? I mean, think about Ratatouille, the blatant ripoff of Ratatoing. Do you not see how bad the animation in Ratatouille looks compared to this? They take, pride in this. They have to. I mean, this must have taken years to create. I mean, it's insane, guys. This movie is so good. Please watch it. Sorry, guys. I just got a bit emotional there. I mean, as I've been saying, this movie is just great. So let's dive into the story a bit. So, the movie begins, showing off the restaurant, the people in it, what people order. It kind of just shows off a bit of the city, which is nice. Kind of relaxes a bit, just kind of wants you to get a feel for what this restaurant is like before you go off onto everything else. So you understand what they've built up, people like it so much, why they want to continue doing it. Now, there is a scene where everyone's trying to figure out his secret ingredients, and they're trying to get him to say it, and they just want to talk to him. And he gets really stressed out. Marcel Toing is the person in question. Anyway, everyone's wanting to figure out Marcel Toing, his secrets, and why he's so successful. Now, he obviously gets stressed out about this because he has to cook the food because he's the only chef in the restaurant. This restaurant is run by like 4 people. I mean, it's crazy. This dude is putting in so much hard work to make this food, and people are just trying to kick him out of where he is and just be like, "Hey, we need you," or "Hey, come here, we need this," or "Tell us this." I mean, they're being rude. You can understand him, right? Oh my gosh. Anyway, so he goes to the restaurant, into the seating area, and goes to tell the people that the secret ingredient is just a lot of dedication and care, and that's, you know, kind of silly. I mean, it's just a generic response, but it's smart because he doesn't want to reveal his secret ingredient. I mean, would you if you were this successful? So, where it shows that the secret he has, there's a scene where he goes and suits up because they have a special thing they do where they actually go into the human restaurant because they're in the wall of a human restaurant. And when they're inside the human restaurant, they steal food from there, which is why the ingredients in this restaurant are so much better than everything else. So when they go in and get the ingredients, they come back, and run the restaurant. So that's their secret. They actually steal from humans to get their food. But, so the night goes wrong. One of the people working for the enemies, because the enemies are trying to figure out his secret ingredients, walks in because she forgot something. And she walks in to find that the thing's open. She finds that they've gone into the human restaurant, and she walks in and sees the absolute catastrophe that's happened. Basically, there's a whole problem with a switch and a fan and everything, and he ends up, Marcel Toing ends up stuck to the fan. Same with Greg, and they just spin around in the air, and it's kind of scary. I mean, if you were a rat and you were spinning in the air uncontrollably, you'd be terrified. The scene was dark. Anyway, so after all this happens, they figure out, the enemies figure out that if they go in and scare the humans in the human restaurant, we'll set up traps and maybe bring out an animal or something to try to get the rats away that are in the restaurant, which is how they're planning on taking down Marcel so people will come to their restaurant more. I don't know if I said that already, but they have a restaurant. The enemies have a restaurant that they're trying to make better by taking down Marcel. Anyway, so they go into the restaurant, and ensues a funny scene where the rats are just doing silly dances and making funny noises, being like, "Woo!" It's super funny to watch. I mean, guys, it's Ratatoing. Anyway, they go in, and they scare the humans, who eventually set up traps and put a cat into the kitchen, so the rats don't come in anymore. So, a week from them, when Marcel and his group go in there, they find that there are traps everywhere, and everything seems really bad. But then Marcel encounters the cat, which makes everything worse. So he's running and running and running, and while the other two are there, they get ambushed by the evil rats, who are trying to take them down. Eventually Marcel befriends the cat, and he comes to the evil rats and stops them and actually takes them to the owner of the restaurant, who is like happy. He thinks he got the rats. The cat brought the rats to him. The owner thinks he's won. So after that, Marcel and his group are free to take all the ingredients they want. I mean, it's a fun little, suspenseful, great little movie. I mean, I don't know what there's not to enjoy about it. The comedy in this movie, golden. Every scene makes you laugh. I mean, look at the picture. Look at the picture. It's them running, these silly faces. I mean, it's a good movie. If I were to give it a rating out of 5 stars, it's a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10. No second of this movie made me roll my eyes, made me think, this movie's bad, made me think, why am I doing this? None of this made me think, why am I even doing this? I just wish there was a sequel, That's my biggest disappointment. But the movie itself is one of the greatest movies of all time. If you have not watched it yet, watch it as soon as possible.